Hi there and welcome to this week's vlog. And if you've watched the last couple of vlogs, you'll know that I had an operation in the hospital this last week. It wasn't a major operation, just a hernia repair, but it was an operation nevertheless. I had to have a general anaesthetic, and I'm glad to say that everything went really well. I'm still in the recovery period, so I'm having to be a bit careful how I move about, etc. But everything is going well, and I have to say that my experience of the National Health Service here in the UK was absolutely tremendous. And everybody I came across on that day, last Thursday, ranging from the consultant the surgeon who operated on me, right down, if that's the right expression, to the cleaner who was cleaning the ward I was on. Everyone was really friendly, helpful, kind, supportive. I just couldn't have asked for a better experience, really, if I had to go through that, which I did. So I'm now on the way to recovery, and I took the opportunity to write a letter of thanks to the surgeon who performed the operation. She did a grand job, was herself friendly and kind and informative, and just answered my questions, put me at ease, both before and after the operation. I also wrote a letter to the Prime Minister and to the Health Secretary because, and this really gets me a bit cross, that they're constantly saying to us the NHS and National Health Service is broken. Well, if something is broken, it means it doesn't work. That's the natural implication of what they're saying. And I know the National Health Service has major problems about funding, about waiting lists, etc. There are lots of issues that need resolving, but you can't say it's broken because certainly my experience is it's worked really, really well. And I've got family and friends who work within the National Health Service, and if excuse me, got a bit of a throaty cough. If they're constantly being told that the organisation they love and work for and are committed to is broken, then that's only going to demoralise them, isn't it? It's not going to encourage them. They're giving their all for the work they do within the National Health Service. They're totally committed. And yet, when you're constantly being told the organisation you work for is broken, how's that going to impact their working life, how they feel about what they're doing? They're not being valued. And so I wrote to the Prime Minister and the Health Secretary to urge them to stop using that phrase, the NHS is broken, and to encourage those thousands of dedicated staff who are giving their all within the life of the National Health Service. The reality is that our words have powerful effect, can have really powerful effect, both the words spoken to us and the words that we speak. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, it says, "The tongue can bring life or death." Our words can destroy someone's confidence, or it can build them up and give them encouragement and support. I'm in the middle of reading recently, or at the moment, a book by a man called Bill Wilson. He's a pastor in New York, and it's a remarkable book. The book which I've got here is called Christianity in the Crosshairs. It's about pressing through. It's about not giving up when God has called us to something, not listening to the doubters, the naysayers, the people who say you can't do that, but pressing on with what God has called us to do. And he's got a remarkable story himself. When he was 12 years of age, his mother apparently took him to a street corner and said, "I can't do this anymore, just wait there, I will be back." Well, she never came back. He was abandoned. His mother saw no future for her as a mother and him as her son. Fortunately for Bill Wilson, some time later, a gentleman came along who was a Christian, saw this young lad who'd been abandoned, and took pity on him, saw potential in this young life, and took him into his own home and nurtured him and brought him up within a Christian context. And Bill Wilson became a follower of Jesus. And then, as a young man, travelled to New York and began something amazing called Metro World Church, where week by week the team gather thousands of young children from terrible situations in New York, children who have been written off, who seem to have no hope or future, and they bus them in and they provide them with fun and games and activities, Christian nurture. And Bill Wilson says that, that's my God-given calling. He's been attacked, he's been criticised, he's been condemned, but that ministry carries on, and it's for some of those children, it's literally life-changing. And it's not just happening there in New York, but throughout the world. My late brother Phil ran Kids Club in a part of Liverpool that was very deprived, and they were bringing hundreds of youngsters come onto their premises week by week, and they went to visit their homes. Not an easy task, but that was something that saw these children who were in such dire circumstances, sometimes no love, no care at home. These children were seen as precious and loved, and words of encouragement, words of support, words of love spoken over them that had for some of them at least, had a life-changing effect. So two things really. We need to be aware of the words that we speak. Let our words be words of encouragement, of support, of love, not of discouragement, not of despondency. It's so easy to spread bad news, isn't it? But we want to be spreading the news that every person is precious in God's sight. And on the other side, not let words of discouragement, words of despondency affect us, but instead listen to God's words and to listen to those who will offer encouragement and support. So there's just a few thoughts from my hospital experience. I give thanks for the National Health Service, for those who loved and cared for me, and I pray that I may offer love and care and support to those I need, who might just need that word of encouragement. So there is this week's thought for the day. God bless you. Thank you so much, as always, for listening today.